No one spoke to Millionaire's son, until poor girl with a piece of bread said, "Let's eat together." One morning, Ethan, the millionaire's son, walked into school. His classmates saw him but no one spoke. They believed he was too rich, too distant, and didn't need friends. Ethan sat alone in class and alone at lunch. At the cafeteria, his tray was always full, but he never enjoyed his food. The tables around him were filled with laughter. Yet his corner stayed silent. That day, a poor girl named Lily entered with only a small piece of bread. She saw Ethan sitting by himself. Instead of turning away, she walked over. She placed her bread on the table, looked at him, and said, "Let's eat together." Ethan was surprised. For the first time, someone had spoken to him not because of his money, but because of kindness. Ethan stared at Lily. For a moment he didn't know what to say. No one had ever asked him to eat together. He looked at her bread, plain and small, and then at his untouched tray filled with expensive food. "Are you sure?" he asked quietly. "Yes," Lily said, smiling. "Food tastes better when you're not alone." Ethan nodded. He pushed his tray a little closer. "Then let's eat." They ate in silence at first. Ethan broke a piece of his sandwich and placed it on her side. Lily looked surprised. "You don't have to," she said. "I want to," Ethan replied. "You shared with me. I should share with you." Her smile grew wider. It was the first real conversation Ethan had had in a long time. The cafeteria around them buzzed with whispers. Students stared. No one understood why the poor girl sat with the millionaire's son. Some laughed, others frowned. But Lily ignored them. And Ethan felt something he hadn't felt before, peace. "Why did you come to me?" Ethan asked. "Because you were alone," Lily answered simply. "And I know what it feels like." Her words hit him deeply. People thought he had everything. Money, cars, a big house, new clothes. But none of those things gave him friends. None of them filled the silence. Lily took another bite of her bread. "People think you don't need anyone. But I think everyone needs someone." Ethan lowered his head. "I do. I just didn't know how to say it." From that day, things started to change. The next morning, Ethan waited in the cafeteria before lunch. He looked for Lily. When she arrived with her bread, she found him already at the same table. "You came back," she said. "Of course," Ethan answered. "We said we'd eat together." Again they shared food. Again people stared. But this time Ethan didn't care. For once, he felt proud of being seen. Lily told him about her life. Her father worked long hours but earned very little. Her mother sewed clothes at home. Sometimes they had enough food, sometimes not. But they were happy together. "My family doesn't have much," Lily said. "But we laugh a lot. We talk at night. We don't feel alone." Ethan listened carefully. His own house was large and beautiful but empty. His father was always in meetings, his mother busy with events. They rarely sat together for dinner. Even with food and wealth, he often ate in silence. "That sounds nice," Ethan said softly. "It is," Lily smiled. "You should come one day." Ethan's eyes widened. "To your house?" "Yes," she nodded. Why not? No one had ever invited him before. Not because of his money, not because of his name. Just because someone wanted him there. That afternoon, Ethan went home with something new inside him. Hope. The following week, Ethan kept sitting with Lily. The more they ate together, the more he spoke. He laughed. Something his classmates had never seen before. Teachers noticed too. The boy who was once silent now smiled during lessons. Some students grew curious. Why does he sit with her? They whispered. She's poor. He's rich. But others began to see the truth. Lily wasn't afraid of Ethan's status. She treated him like a person, not a title. One afternoon, a boy from their class walked over to their table. "Can I sit here?" he asked nervously. Ethan looked at Lily. She nodded. "Of course," Ethan said. The boy sat down. Slowly others followed. What started with one piece of bread turned into a table that was no longer empty. Ethan realized something powerful. One act of kindness could break walls that money never could. Weeks passed, and Ethan and Lily grew closer. He learned to appreciate small things, like laughter, simple food, and friendship. She learned that kindness could reach even the most distant hearts. One day Ethan asked, "Do you ever wish you were rich?" Lily shook her head. "No, I only wish people were kinder. Rich or poor doesn't matter if the heart is empty." Ethan stayed quiet, thinking about his father's big house, the cars, the dinners where no one spoke. He understood what she meant. Their bond became the talk of the school. Some admired it, others doubted it. But Ethan no longer cared what people thought. For the first time in his life he felt free. At night, he told his parents about Lily. They were surprised. "A girl with only bread?" his father asked. "Yes," Ethan said firmly. "She gave me more than anyone else ever did. She gave me friendship." His mother looked at him and saw a change in her son. Not lonely. Not silent, but alive. The story of the millionaire's son and the poor girl with bread began to spread. Not just in school but beyond. Teachers spoke of it as an example of kindness. Parents told their children. People realized status and wealth could never replace the value of simple human connection. For Ethan, it all came back to that single moment. No one spoke to him until Lily, with nothing but a piece of bread, chose to say, "Let's eat together." And from that choice, his life began to change. One morning, Ethan arrived at school earlier than usual. He carried 2 lunch boxes instead of 1. When Lily came in with her usual piece of bread, he walked to her. "This is for you," Ethan said, handing her the second box. Lily hesitated. "I can't take this, please," Ethan said. "You shared what little you had with me. Let me share with you too." She finally accepted, smiling. Inside the box was a simple sandwich and fruit. Nothing fancy, nothing overwhelming. Just food made to be shared. They sat together, as always, and ate. Around them, students whispered again. But something was different now. A few of them smiled. Even nodded. What was once strange was starting to look normal. At recess, Ethan joined Lily on the playground. It was the first time he had played with anyone at school. They laughed, chased a ball, and for once Ethan forgot the weight of being the millionaire's son. He was just Ethan. But not everyone was happy about it. A group of older boys stood nearby, watching. One of them, Marcus, sneered. "Look at him. The rich boy thinks he's one of us now." "Yeah," another said. "Sitting with the poor girl. Embarrassing." They laughed, but Ethan heard them. For a moment, the old fear of rejection returned. He looked at Lily. She wasn't laughing at him. She wasn't ashamed. She just said, "Ignore them. They don't know what matters." Her calm gave him strength. He nodded. "You're right." The next day, Ethan decided not to hide anymore. When lunch came, he walked with Lily to the center table of the cafeteria instead of the corner. Heads turned, whispers filled the room, but Ethan sat tall and Lily sat beside him, unbothered. "Why here?" Lily asked. "Because I'm tired of hiding," Ethan answered. "If we're friends, people should see it." That bold move changed everything. Some kids started to join them. First 2, then 3, then more. Soon their table wasn't empty but full. Ethan, once invisible despite his wealth, had become the center of something real. Lily's bread was still with her, but now it was shared among friends. What had been a symbol of poverty became a symbol of kindness. One afternoon as they packed up, Ethan asked, "Can I really come to your house?" "Yes," Lily said. "My family will welcome you." That weekend, Ethan's driver dropped him at Lily's small home. The house was old, the paint fading, the furniture simple. But as soon as he walked in, he felt something new. Laughter, warmth, smiles. Lily's father shook his hand firmly. "Welcome, son." Her mother hugged Lily and then served them soup and bread. It was plain, yet filled with love. "This feels different," Ethan whispered as they ate. "It's not about what's on the table," Lily replied. "It's about who's at the table." Ethan's heart was touched. He realized he had eaten hundreds of meals in luxury, but none felt as rich as this one. That evening, Lily's family shared stories. They talked about their day, their struggles, their small victories. Ethan listened, amazed. At his house, meals were silent. At Lily's, meals were alive. When he returned home that night, Ethan entered his large, quiet dining room. His parents were there. Eating in silence as always. He sat down but couldn't ignore the emptiness. Finally he spoke. "Why don't we talk at dinner?" His parents looked at him. Surprised, his father asked, "Talk, about what?" "About anything," Ethan said. "About life. About family. That's what makes dinner matter." His mother looked thoughtful. His father stayed quiet. For the first time, they saw their son not as a child, but as someone wiser than they expected. Days turned into weeks. Ethan and Lily's friendship grew stronger. They studied together, laughed together, even faced teasing together. Marcus and the older boys tried to mock them again, but Ethan no longer cared. He had found confidence. One afternoon, Marcus blocked Ethan in the hallway. "Why do you waste time with her? You're rich. She's nothing." Ethan looked him straight in the eye. "She's everything money can't buy. She gave me friendship when no one else did." Marcus had no reply. He walked away, leaving Ethan standing tall. That night, Ethan thought about how his life had changed. All because one poor girl with a piece of bread had said, "Let's eat together." He decided he wanted to give back, not with money that built walls, but with kindness that built bridges. The next morning, Ethan came to school with an idea. He told Lily, "What if we start sharing food with others, not just us, everyone?" Lily's eyes lit up. "Like a community table?" "Yes," Ethan nodded. "Rich or poor, it doesn't matter. We all sit together." At lunch, they moved 2 tables together. Then 3. At first only a few joined, but soon many students came. The cafeteria staff even noticed. Slowly, what began as silence turned into the loudest, happiest table in the school. For Ethan, it was more than just food. It was proof that walls could fall, that kindness could spread, and that one friendship could change an entire school. At the end of the day, Lily said, "See. Everyone needs someone." Ethan smiled. "And I needed you." One morning, Ethan woke up with a new thought. He had everything money could buy. But until Lily came into his life, he had nothing that truly mattered. Now he wanted to use what he had to make a difference. At school, Ethan told Lily, "I want to do something bigger. Not just for us but for everyone." "What do you mean?" she asked. "I mean sharing food, helping kids who don't have enough. No one should sit alone. No one should eat in silence like I used to." Lily smiled. "That sounds right. But how will you do it?" Ethan thought for a moment. "We can start small. A table for everyone. No rich, no poor, just friends." So, at lunch Ethan and Lily pushed more tables together. They invited classmates to sit. Some came, curious. Others stayed back, but slowly the group grew. The cafeteria, once divided by status and fear, began to change. Still, not everyone approved. Marcus and his friends stood at the back laughing. "The rich boy thinks he's a hero now," Marcus said. "He's only pretending." But Ethan ignored him. He remembered Lily's words, "Ignore them. They don't know what matters." That afternoon, Ethan returned home, and shared his plan with his parents. "Why are you so focused on this girl and her bread?" his father asked. "Because that bread gave me more than anything money ever has," Ethan said firmly. "She gave me friendship. And I want to give others the same chance." His mother leaned forward. "So what do you want to do?" "I want to create a program at school," Ethan explained. "A lunch sharing program. Kids who have extra can share with kids who don't. No one should feel left out." His father hesitated. He was a man of business, not emotions. But his mother's eyes softened. "Maybe it's time we listen to him," she said. For the first time, Ethan felt his parents truly hear his voice. The next day, Ethan spoke to the school principal. "Sir, I want to start a sharing table. A place where no one eats alone." The principal raised an eyebrow. "This is unusual." "Ethan, why do you want this?" Ethan answered honestly. "Because I know what it feels like to be alone. And I know what it feels like to be seen. I don't want anyone else to feel invisible." The principal paused, then smiled. "Let's try it." And so, the sharing table began. At first, only a few kids joined. Lily sat there every day, of course. Ethan too. They offered fruit, sandwiches, chips. Slowly more children came. Some brought little. Some brought nothing, but everyone was welcome. Soon the sharing table became the most popular spot in the cafeteria. Kids laughed, shared food, and made friends across all backgrounds. One afternoon, Marcus walked by. He sneered at first, but the sound of laughter pulled him closer. He stood watching, unsure. Then Lily looked up and said, "Want to join us?" Marcus froze. The invitation was real, without judgment. Slowly he sat down. For the first time, he too was part of something bigger than himself. The change was noticed outside the school too. Teachers spoke about it. Parents asked questions. Some even came to see. At home, Ethan's parents were amazed. His father finally said, "Son, you've done something I never could with all my money. You built real connections, Ethan replied, because it wasn't about money. It was about kindness. Lily showed me that. One evening, Ethan visited Lily's house again. This time, he brought his parents. Her family welcomed them warmly. They ate simple soup and bread together. At first, Ethan's father looked uncomfortable. The house was small, the food plain. But then he saw the laughter, the conversation, the warmth. He realized what his wealth had been missing. This feels different, he admitted. It feels real, Lily's father said. From that night, Ethan's family began changing too. Dinners at their mansion were no longer silent. They talked. They shared stories. They laughed. For the first time, Ethan's parents saw what he had been longing for all along. Back at school, Ethan and Lily's friendship grew even stronger. They studied together, played together, and dreamed together. But most of all, they kept the sharing table alive. One day a teacher asked Ethan to speak to the class. "What have you learned from all this?" she asked. Ethan stood up. His classmates waited quietly. "I've learned that money can buy food, houses, and clothes. But money can't buy friendship. Money can't buy kindness." No one spoke to me until Lily, with nothing but a piece of bread, chose to say, "Let's eat together." That moment changed my life. And I believe it can change others too. The room was silent for a moment, then filled with applause. Ethan sat down, but Lily whispered, "I told you. Everyone needs someone." Ethan smiled. "And I needed you." The sharing table grew beyond their school. Other schools heard about it. Parents started similar programs in workplaces and neighborhoods. The story of the millionaire's son and the poor girl with bread spread far, teaching others that kindness mattered more than wealth. One simple act, one piece of bread, had started a movement, and through it all, Ethan never forgot the moment it began. No one spoke to him until Lily said, "Let's eat together." One morning, Ethan walked into school and saw the sharing table crowded with students. What had once been a lonely corner was now the heart of the cafeteria. Kids from every background sat together, rich, poor, shy, outgoing, all laughing, eating, and talking as equals. Lily waved at him. "We did it," she said. Ethan sat beside her. "No, you did it. It started with you and your bread." She shook her head. "It started because you accepted it. You let me in." Their friendship had not only changed their lives but had reshaped the school itself. Teachers noticed less bullying. Students who used to sit alone now had friends. Even Marcus, once the loudest critic, had become a regular at the sharing table. One afternoon, the principal gathered the entire school. He stood on stage and said, "We often teach about leadership, but today I want you to see it. Leadership is not about money or power. It is about kindness." Two students, Ethan and Lily, showed us that. The room erupted in applause. Ethan felt shy, but Lily nudged him forward. Together they stood in front of everyone. Ethan spoke first. "I was the millionaire's son, but I was alone. No one spoke to me until Lily said, 'Let's eat together.' That moment changed everything. It taught me that kindness is stronger than status." Lily added, "We don't need much to make a difference. Sometimes just a piece of bread, a smile, or a seat at a table is enough. What matters is the heart." From that day, the sharing table became official. The school painted a sign above it, "Everyone belongs." But the story didn't stop there. News of what happened spread to other schools, then to newspapers, then online. Soon people everywhere were talking about the millionaire's son and the poor girl with bread. Ethan's father, who once thought it was only a small thing, now saw its true power. He began funding community programs, free school meals, open dining spaces, and projects that brought people together. But he always told reporters the same thing: "This was not my idea. It began with my son and his friend Lily." Years later, Ethan and Lily stood again at the sharing table. They were older now, but their bond was the same. "Do you ever think about that first day?" Ethan asked. "Of course," Lily said. "No one spoke to you, remember? And then you said, 'Let's eat together,'" Ethan finished. He smiled. "That one sentence changed my whole life." "It changed mine too," Lily said. Ethan looked around the cafeteria, now full of voices, laughter, and joy. The silence he once knew was gone forever. In that moment, he realized something important. Money could build houses, buy cars, and fill bank accounts. But only kindness could build a home, create friendships, and fill hearts. The story of the millionaire's son and the poor girl would live on. Not as a tale about wealth, but as proof that even the smallest act of kindness can spark the biggest change. And it all began with bread. Thank you for reading this story. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and comment to support the channel. Your time is valuable, and I truly appreciate you spending it here. Every reader, every comment, and every share means the world. Remember, sometimes the smallest gesture can change someone's life.